Wow, I actually made it to my third video. I didn't think this was going to happen, man. Just the way that I've been stuck for whatever reason, man. I read Graham Cochran's How to Get Paid for What You Know. I read Russell Brunson's .com Secrets, Traffic Secrets, as well as Expert Secrets. For whatever reason, I was just watching a video on Sam Ovens and then Jump Cut Academy. I think it's Jump Cut Academy. And for whatever reason, like, I don't have Jump Cut Academy. I mean, I was just looking at it. None of that stuff seemed to give me a framework to help me, you know, put out videos and put out content. Even Gary Vee, I read his books. Jab. I don't remember the name of the books, but I read the books, right? So I've been trying to get this YouTube thing going for a minute. So this process, I must say, man, Ali Abdaal, not trying to glaze here, it's just the truth. For whatever reason, this particular framework of treating this like, you know, wax on, wax off, like ultimately like the Karate Kid, you're taking shots or you're just making videos to make videos. So I'm just making videos, and I seem to be attracted to making videos about my message. So here I am. Now, I have no concept. Now, mind you, this is just me trying to figure it out, you guys. So I have no concept of how to write a video, no concept of how to film. I'm shooting this off my iPhone, front camera. You know what I mean? I think in the first video I was wearing the same thing as I'm wearing now, so whatever. But it actually is, for whatever reason, liberating, man. So shout out to this guy. Like I said, I stumbled upon his information, and so shout out to this guy. Like, I feel liberated. I made video 3. Now I'm moving into the next phase of the process, which is yeah, just making content, man. Like, just getting 1% better at, not necessarily making content, but among other things, just getting 1% better at filming, lighting, content, writing, you know, editing, analytics. Like, I don't even know yet, but I know that I'm committed to learning the business of YouTube. Like I said, my story goes, I didn't go to college. I didn't do particularly well in school. They said I had ADHD, all this craziness. But, you know, I just was a kid who was interested in drawing and designing stuff. So that's what I went, you know, I was interested in engineering and all this stuff. And so I didn't grow up in a place where that stuff was like kind of facilitated. So I went off to learn things, and one of the craziest, coolest things I ever learned was systems. You know, reading books like Rich Dad Poor Dad, Guide to Financial Freedom, Cash Flow Quadrant, reading Grant Cardone's 10X Rule, reading, you know, Atomic Habits. I realized that, you know, reading Dean Grossiosi's real estate books, Matt Martinez real estate books, like Carlton Sheets real estate books, I just became enamored by the idea of being successful in business one way, shape, or another. And I knew I was going to get there by systems, you know. And so one of the craziest, coolest acronyms I ever heard, and I use all the time, is SYSTEM. Stands for Save Yourself Time, Energy, and Money. Stupid. That's from Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, which I read all this guy's stuff. He's my favorite rapper. But what it boiled down to was that, like, there is a means of doing this thing called life. And if you foresee having a, you know, children or a future, as far as wife or husband, you want to live in a particular place, you want to put these kids in the best schools, you want to be able to vacation, you want to have free time, you want to work on your health, you know, all of this stuff requires you to have systems in place to get yourself, you know, elevated to another level. So I went on to generate some systems, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's super tough, super crazy, but all worth it. 100% worth it. Like, 100% worth it. Yes, it was tough. Yes, it's crazy. But, you know, I run my own small businesses now, or small business now. You know, and my hope is to teach people that, like, despite no college, despite not having a support system, I want to teach you how to generate a business, how to join our community. And ultimately, I want to generate a community of like-minded people, man. Like, I grew, like I said, South LA, you know, gang-infested territory. People just wasn't talking about business. People was just trying to survive, man. Like, you know, that's the furthest thing from one's line. You know, is it Maslow or Haslow? I always mess it up. Maslow's hierarchy. talks about, you know, the basic needs of a human. You know, when I was in those neighborhoods, those needs were barely met. So how can we go and do anything other than what, you know, what we know? And then on top of that, let's say you did get those needs met. Let's say you were grateful to have a 2-parent household, and you were grateful to have, or let's say abuelita or grandma or grandpa was living with you, and you guys had, you know, 2 incomes. Okay, cool. Now you were grateful enough for that, but who did you know that was super successful at anything and had the means, financial education, financial freedom, or any of that kind of stuff, or even owned a business or ran a business, or even knew somebody that ran a business? You know, where I come from, a business owner is evil or greedy, because obviously it doesn't pay you enough, right? That's the saying around my neighborhoods: you don't get paid enough. You know what I mean? And, you know, I didn't know anything. I'm a child. So when I started to take on that path, because I got in touch with Robert Kiyosaki, shout out to I believe this is how I got the relationship going with Robert Kiyosaki, as far as his books are concerned, is I have a cousin named Sean Gladden. Shout out to him. He brought these books around. He brought Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. He brought Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. He brought Think and Grow Rich. You spelled beginning wrong in that book, bro. I'm just letting you know. He wrote a message to me in the beginning, was spelled wrong. That's how he spelled beginning wrong. It was like beginning. And I was like, But anyway, I love you for that, bro. And he brought, you know, I believe I was already reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, but it was the fact that somebody else I knew that looked like me, that was from the neighborhoods that I was from, even though he's from Louisiana, just made me more enamored with the idea of Robert Kiyosaki. So he brought to me, if I'm not mistaken, Cash Flow Quadrant, and he talked about the game that they had, which ultimately I acquired, and it's in my collection. But long story short, if it wasn't for me finding those things, one way, shape, or another, I would have been on a completely different path. Trajectory would have been different. And so I'm forever grateful. But also, how many other people, you know, we could talk about YouTube, we could talk about courses and programs, things like this, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I've watched more courses and programs than than anybody I know. And I'm sure, I'm reading a book every week. I don't really see or hear the story or understand or hear enough and see enough being done for the type of person that I'm talking about, right? The type of person who grew up in a place where no one's really backing them, or no one's really supporting them, or even worse, and this is just so prevalent where I come from, where people are just anti whatever you're trying to do. You know, if it's not the same rigmarole, same humdrum, go to school, get the job, they look at you crazy. I've had people tell me, like, I need to give it up and give it a break. And I stood by and watched my own mom just kind of like agree with them, like, yeah, you got to go get a job, go do something with yourself. And even to this day, with the success that I've found in my businesses and the stuff that I've done and all the trial and error and all that stuff, and I never asked anybody for anything, they still look at me like, yeah, when are you going to give this up? Even though, like, you know, I feel like I'm a successful family man, successful small business owner. Yeah, I don't have streams of cash flying out of every crevice, but you give me 6 months, I could get a vacation, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could plan it. And so, like I said, I want to grow myself, you know, and I'll take this from Robert Kiyosaki, and this is what he teaches. When you go into business, you want to do 3 things. Number 1, you want to learn something. Number 2, you want to help somebody. And number 3, you want to make some money. So when I pay attention to what this man is teaching, Abi Abdal, right? Number 1, I want to learn something. So I've already learned over the last 3 days, because I gotten, this is day 3. This is literally day 3. Day 3, and I'm already on 3rd video. I know I'm going long, but forget it. Let's do it, right? Like, who knows, right? And so, literally, in the 3 days of watching this man's content, I've made 3 videos. And for whatever reason, I couldn't tell you what the sauce is or what this man said that really resonated inside of me or inspired me. Or like he says, it's either education, entertainment, or inspiration. And for whatever reason, he did all 3 for me. And I want to learn how to do that for other people. This is just the facts. You know what I'm saying? So it's so strange to me that we live in a world today where people still tell you, don't be a YouTuber, don't be a streamer, don't be someone who does that, or courses are scams, or this is a scam, or that's a scam. With all this information out there, you know, when I went to school, right, when I tried to go to college, all the kids I went to college with are still paying mountains of student debt to this day. I'm almost 40 years old, right? Is that a scam? I couldn't tell you. But what I can tell you is that the path that I took was very fulfilling and so much more fun. To me, at least. I talk to my friends and we would have these conversations. And so the notion that, like, now somebody creating a course on the internet teaching you how to do lighting, or teaching you how to do YouTube, or teaching you how to run a business, or start an FBA Amazon or whatever, is somehow a scam to me is crazy. So yeah, I guess I'm adding to that pool of people who are creating programs and courses and trying to help and do all this other stuff. Maybe I'm just crazy for it or whatever, but I'm compelled to help, you know. So that's my story. It's like I literally got all the help I could ever imagine from these courageous characters who decided to make the YouTube videos, to make the podcasts, to make the audiobooks, the books, the courses, the programs, and I'm forever grateful. You know, free courses, paid courses, I've tried them all, not all, but a lot, and I can tell you right now, I haven't lost a dime yet, not one. You know, so I want to generate that kind of world for my children. I want to generate that kind of world for people like me. I want to generate that kind of world just so I could be another face on the front of teaching and helping and providing, because, you know, we're in numbers. We're a community of people who want to help. I mean, I'm gonna put myself in that community already, because I've been helping on a day-to-day basis with the Amazon drivers that I deal with, or the Uber drivers that I used to work with, Lyft. I used to do Uber and Lyft, and I used to give advice to people all the time, and I was hearing all day long, why don't you? And I'm like, yeah, man, but you know, at the time, it's another spinning plate. It's another thing to figure out. Like I said, over time, I realized that I can no longer make the excuse. I have to go out here and generate YouTube videos. I have to go out here and generate courses, programs. I have to help. I have to learn something, help, and of course, make some money and provide for my family. But more importantly, I have to help. Really good book, by the way, Go Giver. Probably one of the best books I ever read. Right up there, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and all the Kiyosaki books. And Atomic Habits, 10X Rule, all these books, you know, the E-Myth. Shout out to Jason Fried, Rework, man, heck of a book. And their other book, or their other program or course, Shape Up. So here I am. So video number 3 is done and in the books. I'm gonna publish it today. I'm gonna figure out next steps. So it looks like I'm done with phase 1, maybe not. Go back and look at what Ali was talking about. And then I'm just going to continue to try to bring it to you as much as I can, man, and try to perfect this craft of making videos. And ultimately, when I and you guys look back on this one day, because this is my favorite thing to do. I love to go to a prominent YouTuber's first few videos just to look how terrible they were. You know, I just looked at Alex Hormozy's first few videos and I was like, they were terrible. But that's the whole point, to watch the transition. It's like Windows 95 till now, or a Mac computer or cell phone till now. You can see the ingenuity and the hunger and the desire to provide and help was put on the forefront. All the other shit was put on the back, just to bring content to you, just to help. And then you see it today. It's so polished, it's so beautiful. So I can't wait to have that journey myself. So anyway, looking forward to all of that, man. And this is video 3. Thank you, Ali Abdal. I swear to God, like, I'm not even joking with you, man. Like, you helped. Appreciate you, man. And shout out to every other person I mentioned in this video. Like, I just want to give everybody flowers, because I feel good. I feel like I'm on the way now. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.